Hello everybody, welcome back to Evo Chronicles. Today we have yet another evolution video. Today's subject is the evolution of Mario in the past 3 to 4 decades. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure to do so. It is free, and if you are, your support means a lot to us. Let's begin. The evolution of Mario dates back to the early 80s, in which Mario played a minor character. But over time, Mario had drastic changes, not only to his appearance, but also in the graphics department. Over the evolution of the game franchise, advancements in technology and graphics illustrated great changes from 2D platform to a 3D platform. While initially having a minor role in an arcade game, Mario grew to become the best-selling video game franchise of all time. During his creation, there were many limitations on pixelated images, and Mario's physical appearance is a result of that. Mario was drawn having a mustache and a hat because during that time, those features were easier to make compared to giving him realistic hair or a mouth. His overalls were also created in order to more easily make out the swinging of his arms while walking or running. His entire appearance was made based on the limited graphics during that time. Mario was first featured as a carpenter in 1981's Donkey Kong. This game, created by the famous Miyamoto for Nintendo, featured the protagonist named Jumpman on a quest to rescue his girlfriend from the ape Donkey Kong. This game sparked the growth in popularity of Mario and led him to become later the star of his own video game franchise. Not only was this game a huge success, but it was also the game that brought us out of the video game market crash in the 80s and became one of the most popular arcade games of all time. It was also the first platform game to feature jumping. Donkey Kong changed the culture around video games, being the first game where engineers and developers focused on having a narrative and playfulness. This game had a story with a sense of humor, a new concept for games during that time. For example, the facial expressions made by Donkey Kong and the cries of help from the damsel in distress created a form of entertainment. After Donkey Kong, Mario transitioned from having a minor role to being a star in 1983's Mario Bros. This was the first game to feature Mario as the star, and also was the first to introduce Mario's brother, Luigi. In 1985, Super Mario Bros. Defined Mario and built him up to the video game superstar he is today. The game featured a side-scrolling platform, involving a side-view camera angle and the ability for the character to move left or right on the screen. While not the first game of this form, Super Mario Bros. Became the archetype for many technologically similar games. As an example, Metroid in 1986 followed in Super Mario Bros. Footsteps by also incorporating a 2D side-scrolling game. Along with becoming a huge success in the video game market industry, Super Mario Bros. Also recently sparked an interest for AI researchers. AI researchers were drawn to the game's vast popularity and influence. Along with that, researchers found the game appealing for its perfect balance between simplicity and complexity, which you know if you've ever played a Mario game before. In their research, they developed an algorithm using computer software to play the game flawlessly, as a way of having the machine learn how video games work. But legendary games like Mario set an interesting question of how AI can become tangled up with video games, and how far this research can go, and whether algorithms can generalize to video games with similar strategies. Currently, the AI is limited to working with 2D platformers. But as machine technology advances, there is a possibility of machine learning being carried over to 3D games as well. Throughout the 90s, greater developments in the Mario game franchise created well-known console games like Super Mario Kart and Mario Party. Both games were very well received and regarded as one of the best console games of all time. Along with that, a pivotal movement in video game history was marked by the release of Super Mario 64 in 1996. This was the first Mario game to be set in a 3D environment, and gave the players more control over what Mario could do. In this game, Mario could swim, jump, walk, crawl, and even talk, compared to the original only jumping and running action. This video game was the first to attempt a complex 3D platformer, in which an external adjustable camera was used. This was the first time the camera moved independently from the character. The game had an interactive camera system in which the player was responsible for adjusting in order to see different viewpoints of the game's world. This form of visual technology was standardized and popularized for many later games. The success of the first 3D platformer game with an interactive camera system sparked the invention of many similar games, like Conker's Bad Fur Day, Donkey Kong 64, and Banjo-Kazooie, all of which followed the path in the open-world platform genre. The 2000s gave way to many successful Mario games that were a childhood marker for many kids from this generation. The 2000s resulted in more experimentation in 2D and 3D graphics. In 2006, New Super Mario Bros. Came out on the Nintendo DS and became the best-selling Nintendo DS game of all time. In this game, Nintendo returned back to the original 2D world. In the later 2000s, Mario games shifted platforms from the console to the Wii. In 2007, Super Mario Galaxy was released on the Wii, and a new trend for the later Mario games was created. The change in console added a new dynamic for playing the game, with a Wii remote and a nunchuck. This marked a stark change from the earlier Mario games. Continuing through the 2000s, many other successful Mario games on the Wii followed, like Mario Kart and New Super Mario Bros. In 2011, Super Mario 3D Land was released on the Nintendo 3DS. This was a very interesting game that contained elements of 2D and 3D platforming. In this game, Nintendo brought back elements from the classic 2D Mario game, like time limits, flagpoles, and linear and relatively short stages. The graphics in this game were also exceptional. With great attention to details, it was the first 3D Mario game where lights and shadows were fully taken into account. Along with that, texture is used with lots of details, with very close attention given to how each texture interacts with different surfaces. The clean visuals and spectacular artwork made the game come alive and vibrant for the player. This game is very interesting because unlike New Super Mario Bros, they incorporated 2D level design into a 3D Mario game, rather than making a 2D Mario game with 3D graphics. It is also known for being the fastest selling Mario handheld game in history. The 2000s were a marker for many great successes in the Mario game franchise, and played well with 2D and 3D graphics. The last new true mainline Mario game coming into its 35th anniversary was Super Mario Odyssey, and what an adventure it was. Odyssey feels like the proper evolution of Super Mario 64, where we don't exactly go to beat a level, so much as pursue different challenges within various vast worlds. The mechanic of taking over various enemies and gaining their abilities was also a welcome addition. But perhaps the most interesting addition to this game was giving us a new look at what the very original damsel in distress from Donkey Kong, Pauline, has been up to. And here we are at the current end of the timeline. Super Mario has been a constant and faithful adventure in every form it has taken. So what was your favorite Mario game or era? Let us know in the comments, and if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can always be notified when we upload new videos. Thank you for watching.